So this is the sixth part of the season 2 in which we are discussing previous year's MCQs related to NET environmental science. So let's begin the lesson. The first question is, in terms of their contribution to the total power generation in India, identify the correct sequence of energy sources. So in these four options, the energy sources are given like thermal power plants, large hydropower projects, nuclear energy and renewable energy. So we have to mark which of these energy sources has the highest contribution for the power generation in India and which has the lowest. So in the decreasing order, we have to mark the correct sequence. So the correct answer will be option 1. Yes, the thermal power projects has the maximum contribution to the total power generation in India, whereas the nuclear energy has the least contribution for the total power generation in India. So we'll see from this figure that electricity generation by source in India for the financial year 2018-19, the thermal power plants, that is coal, has the 74.5% contribution, whereas the renewable energy like wind power, solar power and other renewable energy contributes for the second position, and then similarly the large hydro projects have the 9.8% contribution to the total energy production in India, and the nuclear energy has the least among all these, that is with 2.7% to the total contribution. So this option 1 is correct. First is thermal power plant, next is renewable energy, third one is large hydropower projects, and the fourth one is nuclear energy. Coming into the second question, the second question says sustainable development goals have specific targets which are to be achieved by which of the following year? And the correct answer is option number 2. By 2030, the sustainable development goals, that are SDGs, should be fulfilled. Actually, in 2015, all the members of United Nations of States, they formed an agenda known as Agenda for Sustainable Development. So they formed the blueprint for the future and for the planet and for the present people, and it has 17 sustainable development goals, which are an urgent call for action by all countries. So different countries have the contribution to achieve this goal, and whether it is developed or developing country, so they all are related and they are working together to achieve this goal. So what are the 17 goals we will see? First one is no poverty, second one is zero hunger throughout the world, third is good health and well-being, fourth is quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities among the people, sustainable cities and communities in the society, responsible consumption and production of energy, and climate action. So actions are needed for climate change, life below water, so care for the life below the water, so care for life on land, peace, justice and strong institutions throughout the world, and finally partnership for the goals. So a strong partnership is required to attain these 17 goals. Next, moving on to the third question, it says identify the air pollutant in urban areas which irritates our eyes and also the respiratory tract of human beings. So among the following, the correct answer is option number 3. Surface ozone, that is the harmful bad ozone, has the effect on our eyes as well as on respiratory tracts of human beings. Next, moving on to the fourth question, fly ash produced in thermal power plants is an eco-friendly resource for use in. So the fly ash which is produced in thermal power plants can be used for which of the following? And the answer will be all the 4. Yes, it can be used as agriculture micronutrient, it can be used for wasteland development, it can be used for dam and water holding structure, as well as in brick industries. These fly ash produced from the thermal power plants can be used. Next, moving on to the fifth question. Fifth question is, among the following fuels of energy, which is the most environment friendly? Ethanol, biogas, CNG or hydrogen? So the correct answer is hydrogen. Yes, hydrogen is the most environmentally friendly fuel out of among the 4, but it is very difficult to control the reactions which happens in the hydrogen fuel cell, so it is not that much affordable, but it is the most eco-friendly fuel. Next is number 6 question. It says which of the following pollutant gases is not produced both naturally and as a resultant of industrial activity? The options are here. We know these pollutant gas mostly are produced either naturally or by the industrial activity. But CFC, which is the correct answer for this question, are produced by the human activity. So humans have invented these CFCs, which are found in the refrigerators, ACs, and as well as sprays. Next, moving on to the 7th question. Which of the following pollutant is the major cause of respiratory diseases? The options are suspended fine particulates, nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxides, or volatile organic compounds. The correct answer is option A, suspended fine particulates. So these particulates matter which are suspended in the air are the major reason for the respiratory disease. Yes, one can say that carbon monoxide is also causing carboxyhemoglobin in the blood, and hence it is also a toxic substance. But the major cause of respiratory disease is caused by the suspended fine particles. Moving on to the 8th question. The dominant source of pollution due to oxides of nitrogen, that are NOx, in urban areas is which of the sector? Road transport, commercial sector, energy use in industry, or the power plants? So here the correct answer will be road transport. See, so the road transport sector is the dominant source for releasing the nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere. And we know the nitrogen oxides are also one of the major reactants in forming acid rain. Next, moving on to the 9th question. Which of the following types of natural disaster has no definite beginning and end? And the correct answer is option number 4, that is droughts. Yes, droughts are the natural disasters which don't have a definite beginning or end. It can continue for several periods, it can even continue for years, and it has no definite beginning. So we can't predict when the drought is going to occur in which place. So this is the type of natural disaster which has no definite beginning or ending. Question number 10, which is the last question in this lesson, says which of the following is the largest source of water pollution in major rivers of India? So the major rivers are affected by which of the following? Option 1 is untreated sewage, or it is agricultural runoff, or it is unregulated small scale industries, the discharge from them, or the religious practices. So the correct answer here is untreated sewage. So the sewage which are coming out from the households or other institutions, so when they are not properly treated and then they are released into the rivers, they are the culprits and they are polluting the rivers, blocking the rivers, and both the flora and fauna present in the aquatic system, that is river, are affected due to untreated sewage. So the increase in BOD, the death of fishes, all are related to the release of untreated sewage in the rivers. So these were some of the 10 questions related to environmental science which came in the previous years. So work hard guys, dream big, believe in yourself.
Tony finishes off in style, a magnificent strike into the crowd. India lift the World Cup.